Hi guys, welcome back to AFTV. We've just left the game, the match day live. We're here. I'm full time. I'm here with Dan. How are you?
How you doing, dude?
Straight from one stream to another.
Oh no, mate. Yeah. Enjoying
They're working your heart today, aren't they?
Man, I don't mind, man. Listen, it's all good watching us win finally.
Isn't it? Isn't it nice? And let's get it all out of the way early. And I'm going to have to keep repeating this throughout the show because people will jump in and laugh at us. We know it's West Brom. We know it's West Brom's reserve team. Mm-hmm. But there are elements that I think it doesn't matter who you're playing. I like what I see, and I think it's something that we hope will get Arsenal into the right habits going into Man City on the weekend. But just your general thoughts from today.
Winning breeds confidence, dude.
Yeah,
and we have to be aware of the opposition, but you can only beat what's in front of you, James. You know what I mean? And I look at some of the players out there today, and it's good seeing the individual score that needs to score goals.
Yeah.
And Aubameyang is obviously one of those, but to see Lacazette and Pepe playing well also, thought Saka was great. Odegaard showed some class, and some of the flicks from him was decent. And it's hard to pick your favourite goal really, because they were all you know, the last three I would say were really good to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall the performance is great. We need to be aware of the opposition, but winning is winning, and it's good to see us win finally. Do you know what I mean?
No,
and some goals. You know?
I completely agree. You guys are saying on the stream, at least the Goal of the Month award's going to have something to pick from. But look, Spurs went away in the Conference League first leg of who they play. Pacos someone. I forgot the name. Apologies.
Pacos your bags for Spurs, I think. But
anyway, and they lost. And they lost. So they probably were their first team. But my point is, you never really know what you're facing, and you just want to go get the job done, and they did. I think the best thing to do to kind of analyse what we can really get from this game is talk about the players, some of the individual goals, some of their kind of moments and things that we think they can build on, and they can build. Confidence can come from just an easy win like this. Let's start in goal, Aaron Ramsdale, who I thought showed us glimpses. I don't think it was like a stellar performance, but glimpses of why we might have bought him.
Yeah, and I kind of stand with Roy Keane on this one about he's a good shot stopper. That all goalkeepers should be.
Yeah.
But I like his reflexes. But today, which I was more important, he actually looked quite commanding at times, and that was why one question mark over him: distribution and commanding. Is he going to be the Emi Martinez, or is he going to be the Burnt Leno, which is sometimes good, sometimes not so good? And I think today, although again the opposition, it's hard to sort of see what he's going to be like. You can only judge him on the game that he had, and I thought he was fine. It was good to see. And I said to the boys, I would rather just play Ramsdale now. It's clear to me Leno doesn't want to be here. I believe the rumours you hear when he says that he doesn't want to sign a long-term contract. So just play Aaron Ramsdale. He's clearly the future goalkeeper. You've bought him for that much money. So let's go. He's actually cost more than Leno, hasn't he? Leno was about 26 million. So I would say let's just stick with him now and just stick with one goalkeeper that you believe is going to be the one for the future and get him used to the back four.
I completely agree with that. And it was good. And some of the things I really enjoyed were his distribution. He didn't need to make any wonder passes. There wasn't anything there that I thought, wow, we've signed the next Manuel Neuer. But I liked the weight of pass. I liked his decisions of when to give it centrally, when to go wide. And if he was to go centrally, hit it with pace, give the midfielder time to receive the ball turn. These little things matter massively. And when you've got a player like Odegaard in the middle who's receiving them, there's that word, press resistant, we always hear now. These things matter. So, I was happy for him. Obviously, he had that little scare. We thought he might have injured himself, and he got back up and gone with it. So, yeah, he did fine. And commanding as well, seemed to be quite confident in his box.
Yeah, 100%. And long may it continue, because, he did get a bit of stick when he came to the club, because of the...
Massively.
Yeah, the clubs he's been to. And I saw a young goalkeeper that I thought had some potential, but I was not too keen on the signing, because I felt there was a couple of... kind of games that I thought that he had last season where he looked a little bit calamity. So of course that sticks in your mind, but actually you look at the best kind of saves. Yeah, he's made some crackers. So at the moment, let's stick with him and see what happens, because Leno for me might be the better goalkeeper. I don't think he's happy being here, mate. I really don't. So I'd rather play people that want to be here.
And also, you're looking at potential. How old is Burnt Leno? I want to say between 27 and 29.
Yeah, I thought he was 28. So
okay, well, there you go. So, and Leno, who I like, by the way, and I felt the Martinez situation got fans on Leno's back a lot more than perhaps he deserved. first and foremost, he's a goalkeeper, and he shot stops. He's good. His reflexes are good. He makes saves that I don't think all goalkeepers would. He has moments where I think, wow, Leno's that's a kind of save I'm not sure your average Premier League keeper's making. But he's being asked to do something that perhaps doesn't come naturally to him. So I get what you're saying there. Let's have a little look at the front three, and just before we do, remember to send in your videos, as Turkish said on the watch along. Voice notes are fine, but do send in your videos as well, and we'll play them here on the screen and we'll react. The number is on the screen now. Send them in via WhatsApp, and we'll play them here and react to that as they come through. And also, we are going to be reacting to the draw and getting the thoughts of, I think, Charlene, Helen, whoever else is here in the studio as well. Fan cams will be coming, as well as Robbie's from the ground, because they actually made the trip and they're probably having a good time.
I bet they're loving it.
The front three, I mean, where do we start? I think all of them had moments where I thought, do they look at it? And then suddenly came to life. Let's start with Pepe, Aubameyang and Saka. Who should we go for?
Well, I think we've got to start with Aubameyang, haven't we?
So.
Do you know what I mean? It was great seeing him scoring, great seeing him smiling after the game, grabbing the ball. And I think when you look at the things that were question marked over Aubameyang, people questioned his pace. I never thought that he dropped pace. I think everything was mentally with him. And I believe that he was showing some glimpses. And again, James, I keep bringing it up, the competition is not Premier League standard, but I can only judge him on this game. And I think Aubameyang cutting in on that left hand side on his right foot, that was like the FA Cup, kind of rolling back from a few months ago. So that's what I want to see more now. And if he can show that consistency going into it and breed that confidence, I'm 100%
So that's really important, because I was chatting to someone on Twitter about it. I think they basically said, essentially what we're getting so excited about here. And I said, well, the thing is, I agree that watching Arsenal dominate the West Brom reserve team, you can't take anything from that. I don't think anyone's opinion on Mikel Arteta has changed. Whether you're in or out, you're not more in now, and you're not converted from out to in on the back of tonight's performance. But Aubameyang to be in the right place, right time for two goals, that's a good sign. Getting in the box, getting to areas where the ball might fall, and instinctively, when Saka took that shot, Aubameyang knew, if this keeper doesn't save it, perfectly and push it out, I know exactly where it's going to fall. And he gets there. And the same with the second one. Pepe obviously hits the post, falls to him quite fortunately, but it sounds really stupid because it's a tap-in. But also, it's very easy to be leaning back and sort of scuff it or whatever, and he just very coolly put it in the back of the net. Nice. But then the third one, it was, as you said, reminiscent of the goals against Liverpool, against kind of Man City running the back post, Chelsea at the back post, mainly that Fulham one as well, though, where he opens up his body and he just puts it in that far corner, and you're going, great, because it doesn't matter who you're playing, that's a great finish, no matter who you're playing. And that's the big thing.
I think that's my favourite goal of the night, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, it must be mine too.
I was a huge fan of the Saka goal because of the Odegaard flick, but I think when you look at the situation with Aubameyang of how he's been over the last few months, and people give him a hard time, and I understand why, but actually he scored 10 goals in the 13 games running into last season, so he was still playing very, very well in terms of numbers and scoring, but there was something off with him. I think he's looked, when he came on against Chelsea, sharp, at the races, and his head was in the game. And today I think you can say that his head was still in the game. So something is telling me that he is still with us, as in mentally now. But he needs to show that consistency now. What I don't want is him to disappear at the weekend, and then go and have a goal against Norwich, but then disappear against Burnley, like we've seen over the recent years. So let's just hope that we can get a consistent Aubameyang again. Because if we get a consistent Aubameyang, that's where we can get ourselves up the table, in my opinion.
I completely agree, but isn't it a big part of it as well that we're the better team, so we're creating chances? Yeah, you add an Odegaard, that's going to lift you, but just the fact that you create chances, he'll score goals. You get him into those positions, he'll score goals. And there were moments where he took shots that didn't come off, or he went into that area but went for a pass. The point is, you've got to get him into these areas frequently, and he will put it in the back of the net. And I think the biggest frustration watching Arsenal in previous games, okay, Chelsea is Chelsea, but Brentford, we should have seen a similar performance in kind of the amount we have the ball in the areas we're getting into, but we don't. It feels like we struggle to make something happen in those key positions against a Brentford, who, yes, they're a better side than West Brom's reserve team, I get that, but still you expect Arsenal to have the quality to do more in those areas.
I think the final third and the lack of creativity of the last few months has been very frustrating, and tonight we saw a lot more free-flowing football in certain areas of the game. I think the last 3 goals in particular we could say have done well. I think spraying the passes across to the wings was a lot better. We saw Rob Holding put an unbelievable pass out to Pepe, and we saw the same thing over with Tavares, who looks like a very good signing. So we're starting to see what these players can do. We need to now see it consistently, James, because this manager has not done it for me. And I've never quite understood game plans, tactics, team selections, substitutions. It's been all a mess. And because I've seen us now win 6-0 doesn't change my opinion on the manager, because we've beaten a reserve side, which is line-up suggests we should be able to do that quite comfortably. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward now into the next few games. They're saying that obviously he's got 5 games. We're 1 down. So that's 4 games left still to make sure that we can put ourselves back up the league. And I still don't have the confidence in that because I don't believe that this manager's got it. So we'll see what happens.
Fair enough. Okay, well, guys, as I said, we'll be keeping you up to date with the draw. Do send your videos in as well. We've got a super chat from Scun, says Ramsdale didn't look too bad. 3 good saves, still 1 game, but a good start. Yeah, we touched on Ramsdale. He did what he had to do. And then there were moments of, okay, this looks interesting, the passing. You know, he was he 6'2", 6'3". You know, he's a commanding presence in the box. So, yeah, interesting stuff there. Let's move on to Nicolas Pepe, a player who I might be wrong, but you and Lee maybe disagree on at times. And I know, speaking to you, you've always said that there's talent in Pepe. And I've got to be honest, I was at a point where in January, very start of 21, I said, I'm just done with the guy. If you can get 30 to 35 mil for him, move him on. Yes, he's got talent, but I'm not seeing enough, and it's doing my head in. Move him on. And then out of nowhere, and people said it was kind of the end of the season, I think for a lot of, in fact all of 2021, he'd been playing really well. And I started to think, you know what, there's talent there, and it's on the coach to get the best out of him there. Today we saw glimpses of it.
And I think when you look at the talent and the potential of this guy in a system that suits him, I think you'll see him shine. I don't think he's got that with either Unai Emery or Mikel Arteta. And I think when you've got such a heavy price tag, that is going to hold a heavy weight on your shoulders. Now, if you look at what Nicolas Pepe is actually worth, he's probably worth 30 million, 35 million.
Yeah.
Like Odegaard was, right?
Yeah.
If he was that, people wouldn't be slating him as much as they are. I honestly believe that.
No,
I don't think it's Nicolas Pepe's fault that he was £72 million. But what I will say is that he does need to raise his game. And I honestly believe he did that at the end of last season.
Yeah, so I thought so too, yeah.
I was seeing numbers and stats and I'm thinking, well, no one else is scoring. It's him who's scoring. And I put him down as my prediction for player of the season this season. Pepe,
really?
because I think that he's gonna show us what he's made of this season. And I really do think he was the only one who proved that he has quality no matter what this manager's doing. And I think that without this manager's negative tactics, I think we'll see a better player. So I honestly believe we'll see a great season from him.
See, it's funny because Pepe's the kind of player, you said we paid 72, he's probably worth 30 or so. I think what makes him just that kind of, gives him that X factor, even though we don't see it enough, is the fact he can win a game. He could be playing badly, but he'll cut in and put it. I remember Brighton, we ended up losing, but we weren't playing well, and he puts it in the top corner. You suddenly think Arsenal 1 up, and that's kind of what he has. But we're going to talk a little bit more about Pepe, and we're going to go on to Saka in a bit. But we've got some clips. Let's hear what you guys have had to say about tonight's win.
This is Collins from Kenya. I would like to say that I'm very excited we won, but it was against a very weak opponent, and I just hope we can try and do our best against Man City, because that's the game where we'll actually know where we are. We can't get too excited about this. It's 6-0 against kids, as in my opinion. That is not their first team, and most of them were just looking like just 19, 20, very young people. So yeah.
6-0 to Arsenal, finally a performance to cheer about. I think we as fans deserve this after the first 2 weeks that we have seen and what we can expect in the third week against Man City as well. On top of that, I do feel that Arteta was trying to make a statement by not bringing off Pepe, Aubameyang and Saka in the second half. Instead, he brought on Lacazette for Xhaka, which means that he wanted to go all out, and he wanted us to go 6-7-8-0 just so he could make a statement to the media that has been giving him a lot of pressure these days, that he's not good enough, or maybe that he needs to be sacked. But I think it's a good statement to shut the people up, and hopefully we can make our season go upwards from here.
Listen, is it the A team? Nope. Is it the B team? Nope. But end of the day, it's still 6 goals. I'm glad Oba got his hat-trick. He really needs that. He needs that confidence. He needs that feel of that Dortmund field, that first season field with us. Even Laka, I'm glad he got his goal. He's looking good. Saka looked good. Odegaard looked good. Pepe looked good, and Tavares looked good. End of the day, it was just a very, very good win. Does it change the fact that he should stay? Nope. I'm still very much Arteta out. But let's just at least give us confidence heading to the City match, because trust me, we need all the confidence we get. But end of the day, good win, and then hopefully we get something out of the City game. But yeah, big up AFTV, big up Pippa, big up Helen, big up Charlene, big up Dan Potts, big up George, and big up Turkish every single time. My guys.
Don't think he said my name, did he?
Do you feel left out, James?
I feel a little bit, actually. It's put a dampener on my night. Now, look, I think the general reaction from all the fans we heard there was, yeah, we know who we're playing against, but confidence. And do you know who preaches this more than anyone here in this office, or anyone I speak to? Laurie. He always says, in sport, confidence and momentum is massive. And he says this even when we lose games that don't matter, like pre-season or whatever. He'll say, yeah, but we don't want to go into the season with bad habits, or we don't want to carry that into the next game. And I think he's spot on. I think there's a degree of, yeah, we're not going to play that kind of football against Man City. They simply won't let us. But if Aubameyang gets sort of to that left side of the box again, he just finds a moment, or Pepe gets to the down the right and he sees Lacazette running in, you got into the habit of looking up and knowing where someone's making that run, or looking up and knowing where the far corner is. And I think these are good habits to get into.
It's simple though, James, isn't it? Because people say, what does Arteta need to do? He needs to start winning football matches because he gives everybody a lift. And people say, what does the players need to do? They need to start playing more, they need to start scoring goals. It really is that simple, and that's how simple it was tonight for me. We've made a real convincing win for tonight, and nobody can be upset about it. You can have the negatives all you want about some of the players that we saw in the team lineup. I was one of them who was surprised and shocked to see Kolasinac playing. But actually, when you look at the situation, you just have to win the football match convincingly. And that's what we did this evening. And, you want to see the consistency now. You see from the fans, they're absolutely spot on. They're right in saying that the fans are happy, the fans are lifting, the fans are smiling, the players were happy. Arteta come off and was looking happier. So winning breeds confidence, mate. And that's what I hope we see to happen now. Show some consistency and go on a run. And that's what Unai Emery did, remember? Remember when he first come in and he lost to Man City, and then I think he lost one more game, and then we went on this run, Chelsea, and then we went on this run. So if we do something similar, I will be pleased, because it means we're winning football matches. I just don't have the confidence it's going to happen under this management.
No, I hear that. It's got to start somewhere, and I think people also need to realise that this is a small good thing we can take. It's not just we played Chelsea, now we've played West Brom, second team. Everything's fixed. There are other things like the return of Aubameyang starting. The return of Lacazette from COVID as well. Bless them. I'm glad they're both okay. Odegaard coming into the team. Ramsdale getting his first start. These little things. The team is different, and you hope it carries on to Sunday. But Sunday's going to be tough no matter what. More importantly, you hope they get into the right habits and have a nice break ahead of Norwich. Would you take a point of the Etihad right now?
Oh, absolutely, I would. 100% I would.
I would, because I know with the way the season's gone, there's some fans who are saying, well, the only way Arteta's going to turn me around is if we win at the Etihad and he pulls out a masterclass. And I do get that to a degree. However, if you get a morale-boosting, solid performance and a good point at the Etihad, and you go in going, all right, Carabao Cup third round, we didn't balls that up. We got a point at the Etihad. And now ahead of, we're just hearing that the draw's going on, so yeah, we're just going to have a little look at what's going on. But you then go to Norwich and you hopefully get a win. And listen, it's a long season. It's the Premier League chops, and we went on the worst run I've ever seen in my life as an Arsenal fan, and yet there was still a point where top 4 looked possible because you put a few wins together, you turn it around, and suddenly it looks possible. So we just got the draw on here now. Fulham have just drawn Leeds. When Arsenal come out, we will let you know what's
Kevin
happening.
Campbell drawing out. Come on, Kev.
Oh yeah, there he is. I was looking.
Get us a nice draw, Kevin Campbell, please. Come on, Kev.
Oh, Brentford. We don't want to go back there again.
Oh no, we don't.
Who did Brentford? Brentford must have played in this second round. Do we know who they played?
No, I don't know many of the results from last night even.
It's going to be Arsenal, isn't it?
Number
Let's have a
16
little look.
is. Do you know what number we are even?
Oldham. I don't know what number we are. So guys, the draw's coming in. Don't forget to send in your videos and your voice notes to the phone number that was popped on the screen. We'll get up on the screen in a sec as well. We're just watching the draw now, and Watford have just been pulled out the hat. Who's Kevin Campbell got for us? Number 21 is Stoke
City.
Okay. Do you know what's crazy to me? I kind of forget we could get Man United away here. We could get Spurs. I mean, I don't know if they've come out yet, but Chelsea have just been drawn at home.
Chelsea
guys.
at home. I do not want that.
Who will they be facing? This is. Don't be Arsenal. I really don't. I can't.
Number
be
2.
I'll tell you what. If it's an
Aston Villa. I saw that A
So
and I thought, oh dear.
if they've done this in alphabetical order, Arsenal might be number 1.
I think we are, you know.
Unless there's AFC Bournemouth, but then we wouldn't. Oh, God.
Wigan. Would you take Wigan, James?
Well, yeah, but at this rate, I don't know what Arsenal can. So number 22, Wigan will be facing Sunderland. Interesting. Who else have we got? And Norwich have been drawn out, so they'll be playing at home. I think the dude 1153 says United versus West Ham. We'll have a little look.
Oh, Norwich v Liverpool.
Okay, well Liverpool's got to do what they did
That's
a week
good.
ago.
Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man United then have all been pulled out. Means we'll get Man City.
City came out.
Oh, City have come out as well. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just Spurs then.
Burnley.
Arsenal, is it?
Oh, I do not want Spurs. I just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered for the drama of it all.
Burnley versus
To number 19, Rochdale.
What an absolute cracker.
To be fair, maybe more fun than watching us in the league these days. All right, number 32, number Aaron. Oh,
We're out.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. It's
We're
not
at
in
home.
alphabetical order.
It's
Come on,
not.
Kevin.
It's not at
Come
all.
on, Kevin Campbell.
Who's he giving us?
Do not bring out
Barcelona,
Spurs,
is it?
please.
PSG.
Number 1.
Number
Who's that?
1, we've got AFC Wimbledon. Wow, what a draw.
That will do us.
I'd
At the
love that
Emirates.
to have been an away trip.
Yeah, I would
I'd
have.
love that to have been an away trip. But there you go. Arsenal playing AFC Wimbledon. Actually, leave this on screen. We'll just see who else everyone got all together. But yeah, guys, send in your videos reacting to that as well. Oh, we've got some clips. Okay. Sheffield United have just been drawn out. Who will they get?
Super Kevin
while we're just
Campbell
watching
drawing
this,
that
yeah, AFC Wimbledon at home.
Great stuff, man. I like that. You know,
Yeah,
I want to
I
see.
like
I wanted to see that in these rounds. You don't want to get a big team yet. You know, you want to get through to that. Oh, Man City just been pulled out.
Oh, City
as
have
well.
just been pulled out.
Super Kev. Who is he
They're
going to put
probably
them out
gonna get
against? Tottenham.
Burton.
Please be Tottenham. Go on. Please be Tottenham.
Who have they got?
29. Who is it?
Man City, Wickham.
Oh, Wickham. Unbelievable.
Man City have the best draws of all time.
I know
don't
they do.
They
I'll
really
tell you
do.
what, Ruben Diaz is going to have trouble marking Akinfenwa, isn't he?
No, do you know what? That will be great. Actually, whack that on TV.
Oh, Millwall at home.
I tell you
Is
what.
it going to be West Ham?
Well, no, I think West Ham have been drawn
Oh,
out.
have they already?
Are Spurs still in that? Number 10.
Number 10. Who is it?
Who is it? Leicester.
Leicester.
Tricky tie for Leicester, who I thought were battered by West Ham the other day.
Yeah, they really were. Antonio.
Yeah.
Wow, what a beast.
He scored some of those
Absolute
unbelievable
monster.
goals. Yeah.
Wolves at home.
Wolves are at home. Who have they got left to draw? Number 24. That is Tottenham.
Nuno going back.
So I was
Wow.
chatting to Abby Summers, big up Abby, who's been doing a lot of Don Robbie stuff. She said that I didn't watch the Spurs Wolves game. I was too depressed after Arsenal. She said Spurs got absolutely battered by Wolves.
Serious?
Yeah,
I didn't watch it either.
1-0 because of the penalty, but apparently got absolutely battered.
She's very honest, Abby. I'll give her that. She's very honest. Very, very good.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
look, in fairness, I'm slightly paraphrasing. When she meant it was all game or whatever, but I was kind of, I did see a meme, comparing Nuno Espirito Santo to Jose Mourinho. So I was kind of gathering, it sounds like Tottenham aren't playing all too well here.
Wow.
So that would be a tricky game for them against Wolves, and I think Wolves are the kind of team where I think they know they're not going to get relegated. There was a point where they were knocking on the big six, or the top six, but they didn't. Here we go. So Everton away at QPR, that's tricky. United have West Ham, Fulham, Leeds, Brentford, Oldham, Chelsea, Villa. That's another one to keep an eye on. I think that would be a good tie.
Yeah, it will.
Villa finalists a couple of years back. Liverpool travel to Norwich, and Liverpool do not take this competition seriously, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go out. Arsenal have AFC Wimbledon at home. We're obviously very happy about that. Leicester travel to Millwall, and Tottenham travel to Wolves. And then actually Southampton going to Sheffield United isn't ideal. That might be a bit tricky. City, Wickham, Brighton, Swansea. Yeah. So interesting.
Interesting. I expect most of the favourites to go through there.
Yeah.
James, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I'm forcing it. I mean, interesting, hard, but not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's no kind of mouth-watering tie there, but could mean for a very interesting. Because when you win this, you go into the. Oh God, I forget. We've entered the second round, not the third round. So, so we'd obviously go into the fourth round, which is the last 16, and then the fifth round is a quarter final, and then our post Christmas, you got the January semis and the final in Feb March.
I'd like to see us in this competition, though,
Me
mate.
too.
You know, like
I don't.
what have we got to
belittle it.
play for this year? Really, we should be excited about these domestic cups this year because, listen, if without them, we're in a top 8 fight at the moment, aren't we? Or top half fight at the moment.
Listen, to me. Trophies are trophies.
Oh,
like I
100%.
love winning trophies, whether it's the Carabao Cup. Listen, I won't say I party for the Community Shield, but if we win it, I'm happy. I've had a good day. If we lose, I'm thinking, oh come on, like I'm frustrated. I don't walk away going, well, it doesn't matter. It was a Community Shield, but with the Carabao Cup, for sure, it's a trophy. I want to win it. So, yeah, happy with that draw. I know a guy at Wimbledon actually, so we'll chat to him and see if we can do some cool content with you guys. But anyway, we've got some clips coming in. Let's hear what more you guys have had to say about tonight's phenomenal victory.
Tapping AFTV, messaging in from Australia. Look, I don't really take too much or read into too much from this game in the bigger picture of things. I would say I feel like it's a blessing in disguise, though, that we're in the second round of the Carabao Cup. I think it's really important that we saw players like Aubameyang and in general goals going to the back of the net, the winning feeling to come back a bit. But when we come back down to reality, we realise the scoreline could be the other way around at the Etihad on the weekend, and that's just the reality of where we're at. But hey, look at all the positives. I mean, Arsenal's Instagram will love it. We don't only have one goal of the month now. We could even do a top 5 countdown from this game. I mean, it's fantastic, isn't it? Still peak scariness at the moment. I don't know where we go, but praying for the Manchester City game.
Hello AFTV, big up from Russia. Finally our first win this season. Saka, the man of the match for me, who makes the difference in our team every time. Great debut as a starter for Tavares. Really liked him, liked his hard work. He's a different player than Tierney, different style, but still really great to have him. Now, I don't want to sound like a deluded Arsenal fan. Let's remember it was only West Brom B team, but I hope the team can surprise us on Saturday against City.
What's up, Arsenal Fan TV? It's your boy Guled, all the way from Australia. My reaction for the match, West Brom versus Arsenal. I mean, obviously we had a stronger lineup. We're expecting a result like this, but it's good. The game ahead. Like we got Manchester City next, and we got some tough games coming up. We needed that win just for the confidence. I mean, obviously it's great to see Aubameyang with the hat trick, Pepe on scoring sheet, Lacazette, Saka. I think everyone played well. Ramsdale played really well. I was impressed with him. I was impressed with Tavares and the left back. I mean, overall it was a great performance, great night. But I just want to see more of that attacking wise, and I hope Mikel Arteta gets the lineup right for the next game. And we're just hoping, we can get some sort of result, man. I mean, it's going to be tough. And I mean, as fans, we know when you're playing the likes of Man City and Chelsea, it's going to be a tough games. But all we're asking for is just a performance where we we cut down mistakes and work our socks off. But overall, 3 points onto the next round. Good positives. Aubameyang with the hat-trick. Lacazette on the scoring sheet. Pepe scoring. Saka scoring. Ramsdale clean sheet. What can we say, mate? Peace.
Happy Arsenal fans. Happy
Nice
Arsenal
to
fans.
see. Nice to see.
And I've just seen a great tweet from Big Up Renato. I see him on Twitter all the time. I love his kind of takes on Arsenal and stuff. But I know this is tongue in cheek, but I love it. He describes Ramsdale's passing in the first half with a picture of Andrea Pirlo in the AC Milan. Classic AC Milan shirt.
Big up Renato. Class tweet.
We've had a little bit of a giggle at that. But we talked about that. We talked about his distribution being an element of his game that looked encouraging today, and that's part of the reason why he's been brought in. I think I saw Ryan Brewster doing something for, probably Sheffield United's own channel or website, whatever. And he was asked about kind of Ramsdale's qualities, and basically passing was one of them. He said his distribution superb.
Yeah, so that's a big up, isn't it? And do you know what? I really enjoyed his interview. Ramsdale's interview, I really did. I thought, I really did.
When he signed.
Yeah. I thought, you know what, you've got some clear mentality there, because you're basically coming in saying, I'm going to take Leno's gloves off of him. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear this. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can get a chance.
Happy to be here.
None of that. It was I want to play, and that's what I want to hear, mate. So
I think also Aaron Ramsdale suffers from something I think Harry Maguire suffers from, and I'm going to be blunt about it. I don't know if everyone's going to like what I'm about to say, but I think sometimes there's players who don't look the most fashionable. Maybe like, I don't know, whether it can be like a haircut or the way they play or whatever, and they kind of get, or the way you pronounce their name or something like that, and it's kind of why they can't be good. Like I think there's always like whereas if it'd been like I don't know, like a Spanish equivalent, you probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. You say, I bet they're great. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes these things go against certain players. And I'm just, I think a lot of Arsenal fans have been unfairly. I understand being critical or let's say sceptical of the signing. Or why are we spending so much? Or really is Ramsdale the guy? But I think just some of the stuff he's had to face since he's arrived hasn't been fair at all. And everyone I know a few people who actually know and have met him a few times or have kind of semi-worked with him. They say he's great. They say, like, personality, he's a real character. And that was one of the things Arteta really spoke about in his first press conference after signing him. So, yeah, big up Ramsdale.
I agree with that. And the way that the fans have treated him on social media and stuff, absolutely crazy, isn't it? So, fair play to the lad.
I completely agree. Now, I'm just going to see if we've got any more clips coming in, then we're going to rotate you out for Mr. Lee Judges, get his thoughts on the game. There he is, waiting. He can't wait to chat to me about Top Squad and how well he did.
He weren't happy, was he? He weren't happy, I tell you.
Look, he's got hands on hips, he's not happy. We're going to get him in. Let's get a few clips going, see what else you guys have been saying. And then we'll carry on chatting about the game.
Hello, what's happening, guys? I hope you're all well and well. I've been watching the videos. I've been watching it live with you guys. I've been watching the live stream. It's nice to see Arsenal get a win, but it's been breaking my heart for the last few years, Do you know who you guys are? Do you know who you are? You're the Gunners. You're Arsenal. Worst come to worst, you finish fourth. Worst come to worst. But for 2 years, the last 2 years, you've been finishing 8th. Nah, Arteta out. Every day I'm watching Don Robbie. In the morning I go into my notification and it breaks my heart. You're going to buy him, you're going to buy this, you're going to do that. Rah. Positivity. It doesn't work like that. You're Arsenal. Worst come to worst, you finish fourth. And God bless you. Stay beautiful and keep the videos coming.
Up Arsenal. Up Gunners. Very happy for this win tonight. Even though it's academy team, West Brom, they look down on us, they disrespect us by fielding their academy team. But we are very happy. I am very happy. For a long time, I've never smiled like this after the 90-minute in Arsenal game. For a long time. So this is a beautiful one. This one will give us the confidence for the game on the weekend against Man City. Big up, guys. So excited. Let this be a lesson to those teams who think they can field their academy team to play against Arsenal, we will show them we are coming for them. Up Gunners.
Lee, your thoughts? Wimbledon in the next round.
Well played.
Comfortable win.
Well
Go on,
played.
what are your thoughts?
Kevin's done a good job today. I've texted him and said to him he's done a good job there on the draw there. You cut home draw. I'm not going to complain about that. Also, some good other draws in there as well. Tottenham got Wolves. Then those games are just before we play them, so that they're
oh yeah, do you know what?
So if
Yeah,
they rest
point.
players and whatever, then they might go out of that cup, or if they do. So I think that gives us a slight little advantage going into the North London derby. So I'm quite pleased, and I'll be honest. All in all, not a bad night's work, James.
Not at all. I know it's also nice to play someone else. I mean, I've got to be honest. We did a live stream, me and Cecil, when we drew West Brom, and we were just saying, no disrespect to West Brom, but we know we play them sort of every year, every 2 years in the Premier League anyway. We're used to them. I want to play someone different and mix it up a little bit. I mean, that's the fun, that's the beauty of the cups. The Carabao Cup and the FA. I mean, I know the FA Cup special, bigger competitional, but it's that kind of sense of who on earth are we going? Who did Spurs play back in? Do you remember that first round where they travelled to?
Yeah,
it was people were sitting on their sheds watching it.
Yeah,
and it's special. Listen, I know AFTV
Marine, wasn't it? Marine.
Yeah, that was it. Right, that was it. And I know Spurs, not Spurs, AFC Wimbledon are coming to the Emirates, so it's not quite the same, but still nice to have a different opposition.
Yeah, and listen. If you'd have said to me like, you're going to get Wimbledon away or at home, I'd have said, let's go away from home and new stadium and it would have been nice to go down to Wimbledon. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen because we're at home. But ultimately, listen, if you want to try and go well in this and go deep in this competition, home draws help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've got a home draw, so we can't complain about that.
Yeah.
And then realistically, in the early stages of these competitions, you want to get someone that's not, you don't want to get Manchester City or Man United or teams like that.
Yeah.
But so for me, I'm well pleased with the draw. I think it went really well. There's some good games in there as well. I think Man United pulled out West Ham, which was a good one. So there's a couple of Premier League all ties.
Chelsea Villa.
Was that Chelsea Villa? Yeah.
So actually, you're right. United, West Ham, Chelsea Villa, Spurs, Wolves. You expect probably Chelsea, United and Spurs to win those games, but just the mere fact that they're going to be challenged, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
they're going to have to work
exactly.
for it. It's a good thing.
They can't sort of rest lots of players. You know what I mean? Because Wolves, for instance, they're not in Europe, so it's they'll see this as a competition that they can go deep in. Same as Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So some intriguing games there. Manchester United, I don't think would like to play West Ham the way things are going there at the moment. I think home advantage may be key, but ultimately. West Ham are in good form at the top of the league at this moment in time, so a difficult game for them as well.
Yeah,
they would have looked
true.
at it and thought, we could have hopefully got a little bit better. They'd have all been going.
Did they not
Wimbledon at home.
United West Ham meet in the cup last year? Or I can't remember. I seem to remember a very tricky
it was last year,
cup tie that United had against West Ham.
I think it was last year, wasn't it? And they get through in the last couple of minutes or something.
Yeah, I think they did leave it very late.
Yeah. I think it was. I think it was the FA. Was it the FA Cup? I think it might. And it went very, very late on, didn't it? So
sounds right to me. Well, guys, keep sending in your videos. The phone number's appearing on the screen now. Do send in your videos, or perhaps even WhatsApps, voice notes if you want, to WhatsApp on the number that's coming up on the screen. We'll be going another 20 minutes or so. I'm here with Lee. We're going to be chatting about. Well, we talked about the draw. I want to talk about Martin Odegaard next as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just getting an update from production. But let's talk about Martin Odegaard, who I thought showed us glimpses of why we paid the money. And we know the opposition, we know the level, but there's certain things that are very classy. It kind of you can almost tell a good player, kind of forgetting necessarily just the opposition. You see little touches, little decisions, little passes, little things that make you think, you can see the quality. And he started well. Yeah,
I thought he'd done everything that you asked him to do, really. I thought there was some. I think he's a neat and tidy player. I said that earlier on, and I think that he gets in little pockets, which, by the way, are not easy to get into and do things, and so it's difficult to do. If it wasn't difficult to do, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
So he done well there, but he showed glimpses of what he can do. I think he's a very, very good player for us, and I think a snip at 30 million, by the way. I felt he had difficult circumstances coming in last season, but don't forget he's only just been training for a couple of days. And listen, today was all about him getting some minutes. He hasn't had the pre-season like some of the guys have had, so it was getting him some minutes today. That's why he came off. 70 odd minutes today, and I thought that was a good 70 minutes, if I'll be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was encouraging. We've just got a quote that's come through on my timeline on Twitter. Mikel Arteta saying, "We have some player exits planned, apparently. Who do you expect to leave between now and the end of the window? Because it's going to be interesting."
Well, I think Kolasinac will leave. I think Maitland-Niles will now leave. I find it very, very strange that he's on the bench today and Cedric's not, or not involved. I don't really understand what's going on there in that right back position, but maybe it does seem that he seems to be edging his bets towards Chambers. So I think that maybe one or two of them may go there. So I think Maitland-Niles, will probably fund another. I still think Arsenal will bring in two, but Arsenal have 3 players, in my opinion, short of challenging for top 6, top 4.
Yeah,
I really do. I think that a forward midfield player and a right back, a real proper box-to-box number 8, we are missing.
Yeah.
But I think we'll probably get 2, so it depends where they want to go.
You think there could be 2 more coming in?
Well, maybe 2, maybe 1. I think if Arsenal don't sign the midfield player this season, that box-to-box midfield player, I'll be very, very disappointed, particularly after spending the money on Ramsdale, who've done very well, by the way, tonight.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But ultimately, we know what we need in that midfield. I thought like El Neni done a job today, but, he's going to do a job against an under-23 side, James. You know what I mean? What we've got big to. What I will say is let's sit down and have a look at it Saturday, and really, if you be honest about it, you watch the game against Chelsea, they showed you where we need to get to. We're a million miles from that, So if we're not going to buy any players in the next week, you're basically saying you don't really feel that we're going to challenge for the top 4, because whether Chelsea are going to win it, they're going to be in the top 4. Manchester City the same, so we're going to have to see what goes on there. I think that if Arsenal are going to go and really show ambition, they need to sign at least two players.
And I think you'd think games like the Chelsea game will be almost a catalyst for a realisation of we still need more.
Yeah.
It's not just a case of getting the players who are out. Listen, Graham and I went through it. £270 million worth of talent was unavailable / Aubameyang on the bench for that. Unavailable to start against Chelsea. That's a lot of money. 4 of those players, White, Gabriel, Partey and Odegaard, were signed by Arteta. His guys. We keep talking about Arteta having his own players. Those are 4 key players of his. So it is tough, but it's not just about getting them back. I think we all know if it's going to work the Arteta way, he really needs 11 of his own players in those positions. Do you know what I mean? Because those are the intricacies that he wants from his football. Because otherwise, I agree with everyone who says, I don't know what the style is.
Yeah, and I agree. You're not going to get, don't matter what football club you're going to go into, you're not going to get your players
of
all the time in that 11. You're going to have to improvise and bring in, get a few players that are from previous managers, and you integrate them into that system that you want, which I think they'll have to do. But ultimately, what I see now is that you've got, and I think this is very, very important, like that we've got players off the bench as well that are going to contribute. Yeah. We've got no European football this season, so I've always said that we can actually trim the squad down quite significantly towards, which we wouldn't be able to do if it was in Europe. So, for instance, we could really get 6, 7 players and only bring in 2, and that still be sufficient for what we need. So, but 2 quality players. So, I think that I see Eddie going. I see Balogun going out on loan. I think that.
Do you think that might happen?
Yeah, I think that if you're going to keep Lacazette and Aubameyang and you've got Martinelli, I think maybe, and Pepe can play up there as well. You're only really playing one up top, aren't you? Because you're playing more to the wider players. I think you could probably do with getting him out on loan, even if it's just for till January, just to get him a little bit toughened up and used to it. You know what I mean? Listen, when you're playing under 23 football, that was what West Brom done today. They played it's 6-0.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's comfortable. So, like, you know, he's not been tested the way that he needs to be tested for to go in the Premier League. And I imagine he's probably gone in his first 2 games. Whoa, that was tougher than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that he needs to go out on loan. I would, you know, say that midfield, you know, Torreira looks like he's going now. Like, you know, so we are shipping out a few. You know,
starting to happen. It's
starting to happen. Willock's gone. Willian looks like he's going. So the 5 or 6 or 7 players that we've all probably Kolasinac. You know, I think he's actually alluded to that today in his press conference. He said, like, you know, they've been having great attitudes and deserve to get some minutes. So I feel that with these guys, you know, and whether you think he's a great player or not, Kolasinac, I think he's probably good attitude and deserves, you know, like to be, you know, looked after properly.
That might be what it is. It might be a favour from the manager saying, listen, you've trained well, it's not worked for us, but we'll give you these minutes so you keep whatever. It might be that.
Yeah, and then so if he goes off next week, he's ready to do on his new adventure. So I think that's a good thing. So, you know, so if we could say get rid of 5 or 6 and just bring in 2 but real quality, then, you know, I think we're in a good position as far as squad's concerned, not for points, because we're going to be 9 points down by Saturday. We'll be in a better position going into after the international break, getting everybody back, and then that's when I think it's going to matter for us, because at September time you've got Europe coming up for the European teams. They've also got the League Cup, so we're not going to be playing as regular. So we're going to get some good training into these players, and hopefully. You know, it will help us. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's sort of start rounding up the show. I want to know kind of your thoughts on the importance of the Carabao Cup for the rest of the season. I know it sounds crazy, but I was saying it with Dan. Silverware to me. I love trips to Wembley. I love winning trophies. We were deprived of it for so long. And every FA Cup sort of win we've had in the last 7 years, I've loved every minute of it. Do you think this is a competition Arsenal should somewhat be prioritising?
100%. Listen, we've got to cup finals in the League Cup with a squad, because we've been in Europe and whatever. We've not got that now, so I expect us to go for strong in every game. As I said in my interview just now, like, you know, we can't win the league. We're not. So the league is not in our grasp at this moment in time. Let's be honest, it's not. So we've got the FA Cup and the League Cup. There's no Europe, there's no other games to that. So the best way to win a trophy is, I think, the FA Cup and the League Cup. And listen, I feel it very offensive when people go, "Oh, we're not going for that." Manchester City prioritise on it.
I couldn't agree more.
4 times they've won it. So and they don't seem to worry about this, only the League Cup. And if you have a look at the League Cup, most of the time, I think Manchester City, Aston Villa last time around, Tottenham, Manchester City this time, Arsenal, Manchester City the year before that, it's always the top teams that get there at the end of the day, James. You know what I mean? There's pretty good teams in there that go for it, so why not? You know, I think we should be going for it.
Winning trophies in football at this level is very difficult. It's very difficult, and you know, City scoop up at least 2 of them a year.
Exactly.
You know, so you don't want to start being snobby about what. And it really winds me up when I hear Arsenal fans say it's only the Carabao Cup. Well, okay, well, good luck on your pursuit of the Premier League. The Champions League, we're not even in. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I think we've
got. I don't think Manchester City. I'll tell you what, Manchester City nor Chelsea have ever said that. You know, when Chelsea was successful, they were winning games, winning the league and the Carabao Cup. So I think it's a big thing.
Yeah, agreed. Guys, we've got some more clips coming in. Let's hear what you've had to say.
I think it was a good win, alright game. I think the main game is Man City, and it was good for Aubameyang to get the form, and he needs to go and hit a run. You know, if he can get them kind of goals against Man City, I think a draw will be a good game. And big up to James, and big up to Lee Judges. Yeah. Good game from Tavares as well. He played really well, actually. He played alright, and I think we were expected to beat West Brom, but yeah, it was still a good victory, and yeah, if we can take that kind of confidence into the game against Man City.
Hi, AFTV. You did enjoy the win like me, right? It was a nice win, believe me. Felt nice hearing the crowd sing, Aubameyang, Aubameyang. Seriously, man, it's been a long time. Nice hat-trick from Aubameyang. Good goal from Saka. Nice contribution from Pepito and Odegaard. Man, the boys were nice today. Even Kolasinac was kind of decent, you know. My heart was like, you know, whenever he's got the ball, I'm scared. But it was decent today. You know, Tavares was just amazing. I don't know. Can we play like Tavares and Tierney together? Because those guys are just awesome, believe me. And then Lukonga in the middle, man. Really, I think Arsenal is going to be quite decent when all the players come back. So let's just bask in this 6-0 victory, because definitely, you know, it's going to be tough against City this weekend. So yeah, come on, you Gunners.
Hi AFTV, I'm Sujit Panda from India. I've been watching you guys since a very long time. Yeah, I just finished watching the game against West Bromwich Albion 6-0. It was a good performance, and Saka masterclass. Aubameyang was very good, scored the hat-trick, obviously, our captain. I think we should not get too carried away. I've been seeing many friends of mine just telling me that Aubameyang is back to his best. He's not. I'd love him to be back to his best, but still he's not. I think what we need in the transfer window now is a right back, surely. I mean, we have to get him and Kieran Trippier or something like. I don't think Max Aarons is at the level which people tell he is. And Saint-Emerick probably. Yeah, that's what we want, because if Auba continues like this, we don't need a striker.
Okay, let's take a few super chats before we sort of go into what was said there. Oz says, don't assume we lose against City. Let's see how they handle the team when 8 first-teamers aren't missing. Come on, you Gunners. Hakan says, Xhaka and Elneny cannot be in the same midfield again. We need a deep-lying ball player who will progress and spray balls from deep to our front three. Alwar is a no-brainer for 20 mil or less. Him and a right-back. Alwar and a right-back would be a dream kind of enter the window for me, in my opinion. That's.
And do you know, look, just talking about Alwar, I think Arsenal needs to get that done, because otherwise it shows a mockery of our transfer over the last year.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Because you know, you've gone all summer last season trying to bring him in, and then at the last minute it didn't happen, and then you've got a chance to bring him, and you don't bring him in now. I just think would make the recruitment side embarrassing, and so I think that needs to be done. For that, I'll be more pleased with that, so that it makes me think, you know, our recruitment are doing the right thing. Yeah, they seem to know what they're doing, because I'll tell you what, if they don't, I feel very nervous about the recruitment team, if I'll be honest. So that would be really, really good. A right back coming in would be fantastic, but the only thing I see with that is you've got to get rid of 2 or 3 if you do that.
Yeah.
But
no, you're right. And actually, Man United got a lot of praise for. I mean, last summer their fans were furious that they didn't get Jadon Sancho over the line. They felt it was crucial. A year on, they've got him for about, I mean, honestly,
proper
40
business.
to 50 million less than he was worth last summer. And they got in and they did it early, and he was through the door ready for the first game of the season. Now, okay, we seem to be leaving it late if we're even going back at all. But that's the kind of thing as well I'd like to see Arsenal do, where they said last year, for whatever reason, the price was too high, or the agent fees went wrong, something went wrong, there's rumours of all sorts, to then come back a year later and go, we waited a year, but you know, this deal makes a lot more sense for us. And that's the kind of thing I want to see.
And that makes it look proper. I think that what Man United done with that, from the outside looking in with the Sancho thing, to me, that's a recruitment team that have got a plan, and they fulfilled that plan. They felt, right, we can't do it this year, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We're bringing somebody to makeshift it this season, but ultimately that we're going back again. And I think Arsenal have done that. Now, if Arsenal turn around and say, we was always, you know, we changed our mind and went Odegaard, then why are you looking at Maddison? Like, you know, so for me, it just seems that things are not, you know, it's like throwing a net into a pond and hoping you're going to pick out some fish. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't like that. Have a proper plan.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. And one of the fans just said there, let's enjoy the 6-0 win, and rightly so. Don't be embarrassed by it. You can only beat what's in front of you. We've won today, and listen. I feel a lot better tonight than what I did on the last two occasions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't care who the opposition is. I'm just pleased Arsenal have won. And today, Arsenal have won what I expected to do. I said 4-0 because that is what I expect of an Arsenal team to do. The Arsenal going to do today. They've gone above my expectations today and get 6. So I'm more than happy with it. And I'm not embarrassed that we've won 6-0 today. And I'm going to enjoy it because it might not be like this on Saturday. So I don't, worry about other fans saying you're embarrassed and all that. 6-0. Look at it. West Brom 0, Arsenal 6.
Yep.
Lovely.
There you go, job done. I agree, and we've had a few people in the comments sort of saying, you're celebrating a 6-0 win, embarrassing. Listen, you guys have taken the time to come on our channel and remind us of a score we already know. So, I don't know what to say. Should we be upset?
No, not at all. Thanks for tuning in. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Let's just take this super chat from Shreth. Trophies are important in building momentum. We can't be like Spuds. I wait to see same performance in the Premier League. In Premier League games, we need signings. What's up with Martinelli? Yeah, let's end on that. We're gonna wrap up in a sec, guys. Thank you for sending in all your videos and stuff. It's been great, obviously, to hear what you guys have to say. Remember, keep leaving everything in the comments. Chat to us on social media. We always want to hear your thoughts. But let's end not on a negative. But Martinelli came on. In fairness, the game was kind of done, but he's not quite looked himself. Does he just need a bit of game time and a bit of rhythm?
100%.
Yeah.
He's just come back from the Olympics, so
exactly,
he needs a little bit of a break. And unfortunately, because of injuries and all that, he wasn't given the break that he was needed or required. He'll get that now in the international break, and I think that he'll come back and he'll be good. Listen, a good game against Wimbledon to come back and start. So I think at the end of the day, he will get his game time, but when you look at it today, Saka playing on that left-hand side was different class.
Yeah, it was very good.
And I know it's only West Brom, whatever, but we know that Saka can do that against the best.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
And listen, Manchester City could be a game for Martinelli where we've got to soak up a lot of pressure and him on the break. And I remember the game against Chelsea, he was perfect for that. So listen, he'll get his games this season, I'm pretty sure, and he'll do really, really well. But at the moment, he's just come back from the Olympics, been rushed back because of injuries. Yeah, he'll come good.
Agree. And actually, I do want to end on a word on Nuno Tavares. I kept saying Tavares, but everyone's saying it's Tavares. I liked him today.
I like him. Again, you can only go on what you've seen today.
But I liked him against Chelsea in his cameo.
I liked his cameos. I liked his performance today. He looks like one for the future as well. And the thing is, what I think is going to be really good about him is that when Tierney's not about, you're going to put him in there and he's going to do a good job for you. And so that's ultimately what you want. Listen, Arsenal signings this season have been decent.
Yeah, I agree.
They've been decent, but they've not been exciting.
No.
They've been decent. I'll tell you what, though, get a War in or someone of that ilk and maybe another one. And let's hope that we'll be excited this time next week or next Tuesday.
I want a right back. I think for me, I'd go, do you know what? Job done in the window. No, let's just do it on the pitch.
Yeah,
we'll see.
exactly.
Well, thank you for joining me, Lee.
No problems. Enjoyed it.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, like, subscribe, all of that. Fan cam videos are, as I believe, coming out now. We've got the fan cams from the studio, but obviously Cecil and Robbie were at the game as well. So we'll be getting the views from the fans. Charlie and Helen are just messing around in the background, which kind of means it's home time to wrap up. I'm sure you can hear their
We're
thoughts
definitely wrapping up now. Like,
let's just end it there. Thanks you for tuning in.